What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the video. So not gonna waste y'all time, make this super long. So installing the pistons and rods. As you see here, I already have 1 and 4 installed. I'm sure you guys know how to do all this, but I just want to show you guys my progress. And just for the few guys who are not familiar with assembling a motor, maybe you can learn something from this. There's lots of channels who go into details and are more professional at doing this. But again, for the family members of the channel who like my content and just like my personality and prefer learning something from me, I'm just gonna show a bit. This is dubbed as Project Hiroshima, so not sure if all this is gonna work as it did with my Honda, because I'm playing with a lot of tolerances, and just from research and just reading. This is way before I had this engine, so learning about piston ring gaps, rod bearing, main bearing clearances. I just want to put some of the things that I learned to actual practice, just like I did with my Civic Si. And this is a new platform, as you guys know. This is my MAZDASPEED, or I got this from a 2008 Ford Duratec Ford Fusion 2.3, and I've done a similarity and a difference between the MZR and the Duratec. So this will be going in my Speed 3. So without further ado, let me see you guys on the tripod and show you guys or explain what I got going on. Alright guys, so before I begin, hope everyone's staying safe. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that YouTube, if you say the word, that begins with a C, which I'm not getting monetized anyways. I'm not making no money from YouTube. I heard that they demonetize you. So I just hope everyone's staying safe. Hopefully we can get past this situation, and again, just do what you're doing best for you and your family. So like I said earlier, I have 2 of them already installed, number 1 and number 4. Yeah, I have a box of brand new bearings, Cleveland Molly, I don't know how you pronounce it, I think it's Mall. Reputable company. These are high performance bearings, standard bearing. So all I have left is 2 and 3, what I was waiting on. And just to show you guys, I tried my best to clean these up. I'm sure a lot of professionals will probably say that's not needed or necessary. It do take some time because how long this has been sitting with all the sludge and gunk on it. What I did is a piston a day, so when I got off work, I just cleaned 1 a day. And I just took my time, man, especially inside of the grooves. But you do what's best for you, but I would recommend just clean them off, even though that they're gonna go back into an engine and they're gonna get carbon buildup. But just start from a clean slate. That's just my opinion. But whatever your favorite YouTuber or mechanic says to do, then by all means follow their recommendation. And what I was waiting on as well was my new rod bolts, which these are the old ones. So again, this is another thing that you do what's best for you, and whoever you trust recommends. So on these, they're torque to yield, and it's recommended to change these are a one-time use. However, tracing back a bit from my Honda Civic Si, my main bolts, I've never changed those. Those are torque to yield as well. That car's still running to this day. However, on my rod bolts, I'm running ARPs. Now, I never took those to get resized or anything like that. However, ARP does recommend taking them to a machine shop and have them, once they're torqued down, have them resized or rehoned or whatever. What may go for me may not work for you. So if you're gonna run ARPs, make sure you do what's best for you. ARP does make a set for this. It is not named or market, as the 2.3 Duratec, whatever. It is worded as 1.8 Duratec. There's a 1.8 liter of this, if you guys didn't know. It works in the 2.3 and the 2.5. So if that's something you want to do, which I'm sure most of the guys are not going to do this, that's a recommendation. If you want to have it resized, you can have it resized, or if you want to torque it to the 45 foot-pounds, which I don't think is a lot, because when you use that ARP lube, which is actually the secret sauce, it is so much better than using oil or torquing these dry, which I won't even recommend. So that's something you want to look up into as well. You know, that changes the amount of torque you need to put to the bolt and the material that the bolt is made out of as well. But I don't want to sound smart and go off on a tangent here. So with the rings, I already got them to my liking and all that. Already put the orientation of the rings to the factory specification. I'll show you guys a close-up real quick. Alright, so you guys may not see much, but hopefully I can show you when I install the rings on the number 3 piston. So you have your 2 oil control rings, you have your expander ring in the middle, and the expander ring on this setup, so this is the front of the piston. I have the expander ring sitting right over here. I have the bottom oil control ring sitting right here. The top control ring sitting, I think I have it 60 to 80 degrees, so it's sitting right there. The second compression ring is right here, and for the top compression ring is sitting right here. Again, you guys probably not going to see all that, but hopefully I can show you when I do the other ring, the other piston. So for my how I'm going to set this in the bore, this is my ring compression tool. I've had this for probably 2-3 years now. Works well. There's Pacific, I think Whitesco makes them, that is just a specific diameter, and it goes over whatever your bore specification is. But I don't think I have any need for that. These are very tricky, but I think once you get used to it, it's a breeze. I like it. It goes up to a certain size, different sizes. So, but like I said, it's very tricky, but it's okay. It's worked well for me. I don't see the need to buy the fancy deal as of right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to start cleaning the journals for the rod bearings, and we go from there. Alright guys, so turn the block over, show you guys what I'm going to do first before I put that piston in. Is I'm trying to clean off this journal as much as freaking possible, because I got this little damn dog. Happens every time. It's like every time I build a motor, it's that peak time when he's about to shed. And I've had the same situation with the Civic, man. I had this, at that time I had my air compressor, which I still do have. I think I said this in one of the videos. It's not working. I'm not interested to get it fixed. But I had the air compressor so I could blow everything off and all that. But this time I have to be super careful, very attentive, because his hair is all over this engine, man. So what I did, I got brake clean right down there, and I just sprayed the hell out of this shit, and came back behind it with some lint-free cloth, blowing it as much as I can. And I'm sure a little bit it's not gonna hurt, but the amount of foreign material I can reduce, man, the better it is for me, just personally. That's why I'm sure a lot of people say you should build an engine in a clean environment, or a room that it's probably just dedicated for engine building. And hopefully I can get there in the future, man. But for the cats like me, you know, we don't have all that luxury, so that doesn't mean I'm not gonna build a motor. So we're gonna work with what we have, and just be extra cautious. So I think I have it clean as much as I can get it. So the same thing, I know the light is shining on it, but take this one for example. This is number 3. You can see, look at the hair right there, versus this one. You see that? So yeah, now I can turn it back over, and let's get this piston inside the bore. Alright, so I'm sure you guys seen what I've done with that little clip. So install the bottom half of the bearing, lubed it up. You guys see this mark, I don't know if you see it, but I just scribed that mark with a paint pen just so I can know how to align the bottom half of the bearing cap, because it doesn't have any specific orientation. Well, it does, but it's hard to see it when it's inside of the bore. So I just scribed that just so I don't have to waste any time figuring out the correct alignment. So install the bottom half of the bearing, like I said, lubed it up. Lube the bore with WD-40 and engine oil, just something I prefer doing. I'm sure most would say that's not necessary. Lubed the rings, lubed the piston, lubed the piston compressor, and now I should be able to put this inside the bore. Now, what I like to do, I leave, like you can see, it's an inch or less than an inch showing the skirt. So when I sit it inside of the bore, it works as an alignment. So if I sit this flush, it's just me, I'm hitting this, so I'm not sure if the piston is seated properly inside the bore. Again, that's just something I like doing. I'm not a professional at this, so like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt. So make sure my piston is in the correct orientation, facing forward, and I should be able to just guide this in. Like I said, I prefer it sitting, or at least have the piston inside the bore and it sits flush, instead of having this all the way down and it's actually sitting, but it's not even. If that makes any sense. And I know it's like that. I can grab my back of my hammer on my mallet and just slowly tap it down. When I go down and if I start to feel any resistance, then I know some of the rings are starting to get inside of the bore. However, if I feel like I'm tapping and it's not going down, then I mean it's hitting outside, but this is almost all the way down, so I'm sure. Still gotta clear the first rings, but still gotta clear the two compression rings, but and then I'm positive that this is all the way down. So even if I remove it, see, I'm good to go. Now I'm not gonna just hit this all the way down. What I'm gonna do, when I feel like I'm halfway or I'm comfortable with it, I can guide it to the journal. I'm gonna turn this around. So tap it down a few more. It should be good. Now I'm gonna turn it around and help locate it to the crankshaft. So we turned around and still gonna hit this a little bit more so I can get my hand on the lower end of the rod, so I can help locate it to the journal, like I said. Keeping in mind, I don't want to hit the journal, that would be a bad day. Okay, I'm pretty close, so. Alright, there she sits. Alright, so this is where, I don't know if you guys are seeing that in the camera, my apologies on the quality. Hopefully in the future, man, I can get a decent DSLR. So this is where, if you're doing plastic gauge, you know, you put your little plastic gauge here and you would tighten the bottom half of your rod cap dry, because this plastic gauge, it melts real quick, especially if it's hot in room temperature. And you install it dry, turn to whatever your specific measurement torque sequence is, reading, back it off, see how much it compresses by. I have it right here, one right here, and whatever measurement you get, hopefully it's what you want. If not, you're gonna have to get brand new bearings or mix and match bearings. I've already done mine, a few of these, and they're within what I'm aiming for. So yeah, so we'll come back and install the bottom half of the cap. Alright, family, so like I always say, man, if you guys made it to a certain part of the video, much love and respect. So, I'm going to install my rings now. This is the last piston I have to install. So I have my rings, I have my expander here, the oil section, and this is a tool I've had for a while now. Hence why it looks so old. It's made by Lyle. It's an expander tool. I'm sure a lot of people are saying this is probably not necessary, but for the first two rings, or the compression rings, I wouldn't advise trying to expand it by hand because you can easily break them. I've break rings before, so it's somewhat of an experience. For the expander and the control rings, this tool is not necessary, but definitely for the first two compression rings, like I said, if you can do it, you know, by all means, you know what's good for you. You do what's best for you. But like I said, I'm assuming most of you guys who watch this video just for you guys are professionals, and this is just for entertainment. So the first ring I like to start out with is the expander ring. Make sure that I have this butting up and not overlapping like that. It's just gonna be hard to see. And install this ring, I want to make sure it's hitting against each other and not overlapping like that. So that's something I gotta be careful with this one. And yeah, I'm gonna start out with this one first. I got some hope this is in focus because I can't see. So here are the expander rings. One of the reasons why I said good to clean the grooves out, because you know you have these oil passageways, and I made sure I used a pick and made sure I got right inside of that. So that's again one good reason to clean those grooves out. So with this expander ring, it does have a specific orientation, which one is top from bottom. Again, I just want to make sure that the gap is sitting flush and not overlap. So on this, the gap sits somewhere over here. And I'm sure we all know when the engine starts and rotates and all that, these gaps are not going to be in the same location, but this is just to help with blow by on the first startup. So I have that one sitting where I like it to be. So now I'm going to install the two oil control rings on top and bottom, and the first one is going to be sitting somewhere here, and the second one somewhere over there. So I'll be back when I have those installed. Alright YouTube, so probably 3 hours later in editing world, quick for you guys. So I had problems getting the last piston. Ironic enough, I had to have on the last one to get inside the bore. So that's why I said cleaning the grooves out is probably pretty much a good idea to get that done, because I guess I still had a little bit of gunk inside the grooves and it just wouldn't sit properly. So every time I try to compress with the ring compressor, that's the tightest it could go in. That made sense. So got that clean and everything's in. So you guys a little rotation. Guys, so as you just saw, everything rotates. I don't feel anything weird other than, you know, the rings and everything is hitting against the cylinder walls, but other than that, everything rotates just fine. So with all that being said, man, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. I've noticed the subscription, for some reason during this week, it's gone up, not exponentially, but yeah, I've been seeing the subscriptions coming in. I don't know if because you guys are on quarantine or you guys are at home or whatever, but again, much love and respect, man. So if you guys are new, welcome. Hopefully you guys stick around, and hopefully what's to come in the future, you guys will like the content. And first and foremost, my personality, because anybody can make car content, man. But at the end of the day, if I can, you know, get somewhat of a connection with you guys, you know, that'd be great. So right now, just going to move on to the cylinder. I have a few miscellaneous stuff that I gotta get done to this, but as far as the main internal components, I'm happy. I ain't gonna lie to you, I've assembled this motor a lot quicker than I did with the Civic Si. At a time, still learning, which I'm still learning. You know, I don't want to come off cocky or whatever. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this every time. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not an ASC. No super technician. Still learning, man. But I'm gonna say my turnaround time with this motor is a lot quicker than I did with the Civic. So with this, man, just still trying to learn this platform. Still Project Hiroshima, because I'm not sure if all the clearances and the tolerances that I choose are gonna work, but if it does, that'd be so great. So power goals again, man, 350 the least, hopefully 475 if we do 500. It's just to see the number and maybe back it down to 485 maybe, but nothing crazy, man. Just enjoy the car, go on road trips, and if I do sell it, I can sell it in one piece and the new owner would love it. So with all that being said, man, go draw this off, man. Like the video, whatever, subscribe, share, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully you guys stay safe, and just trying to get some more parts knocked out. I gotta get that cylinder head done too, so I gotta get that to Memphis or South Haven, Mississippi tomorrow, have the machine shop get that done, have it resurfaced or whatever, and get that cleaned up. So stay tuned for the video, guys.